We married a Japanese mini truck to a totaled 6x6 side-by-side chassis. And this week we're creating all of the engine support so we can attempt the first start. No, don't say it.
As it turns out, I am stupid because I did not check to make sure the seats fit in here with the shock mount bars. Yeah, this bit here, that's running into that. I suspect it can be fixed with some kinetic persuasion. Oh. Turns out, it didn't take much convincing. That seems like it's gonna clear now. Now comes all the parts of making it work. I'm gonna start with the radiator, and it's gonna go somewhere in this hole. These are a little bracket that he, just cut out a bunch of and bent up and sent us. They're just kind of a universal little thing to go on a round tube. They'll work really well for this, kind of like that. Look at that. Yeah, and there's a good bit of add adjustability there. Let me make sure. Running into anything? Yeah, good, good. Pop it and drop it. Hi. You gonna help me design these parts? Probably not.
Why are you so swindly?
What I'm doing here is making some little notches on the side, and that way I have a mark for where to bend it, and it'll make it bend a little easier due to being notched there. It turns out that these taillight cutouts from the Ranger bed will fit this little radiator bracket just fine.
We're using every piece of the Buffalo.
That's the word on the street. Kinetic persuaders. It looks like a windmill from the Netherlands.
It really does,
Minus
actually.
the little swirly. In Amsterdam, you know those pillars on the edges of roads so people don't drive on the sidewalk? They look like this too. They're not tapered, but they have little X's and they're rounded on the top.
Wow.
The more you know, the more useless information you have in your head. Originally I had those little notches on the sides, but then I just made this line be where I want to bend, and it'll bend at that even better. Look at that. That's one solidly mounted radiator. And if there's any flex in the chassis or anything or vibrations, we got rubber mounts here, we got rubber mounts there. Now we're gonna go from a radiator hose that was this long to one that's about this long. Wow, that end is quite simple, that's for sure. This, obviously, is the K-Truck throttle cable, and it does fit into here lengthwise and everything, and I could adapt it here. This cable ended up being kind of tight, the way it was routed over here, so I rerouted it a little bit. This is all electronic. It's just an electronic throttle body. It wouldn't matter which way it's oriented, so if it's over here, the throttle cable is coming in from the bottom on that side, but I can also just rotate it, and it should, in theory, work just the same. There we go. Another system done. That was pretty easy. I accidentally broke this. I was trying to bend it a little bit and I snapped it. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it because it works just fine. Check it out. Obviously you can't see anything moving there because it's all buttoned up, but you can hear it. What system is next? Moving around the shift cable just to get it out of my way, but then I figured, you know what, I might as well investigate how it's going to work. And my hope is that I can adapt it to work with this here factory Mitsubishi shifter. Here's the Polaris shifter. I mean, functionally it does the same thing.
We do like your step drills.
They're just so handy because you don't have to pick which size of drill bit you need. You just grab one and it's all of the sizes. Oh, there we go. That goes on there, weld it, and then we'll have an adapter from compression hardline to banjo fitting. Is this something you could buy for like a nickel or two? Probably, but it's more fun to make it. This here brake line is the one I already had done. Now I got two of them. Look at that. This doodad. So you put it through the thing and then you put this on there and it holds it in, right? Now check this out. It's the right sized hole.
That is a nice coincidence.
And there's one on each side. Blue high RPM hammer. Brake lines. Hooked up. All three of them. The one that goes to both rears, left and right, and they look fairly nice. None of them are like super stretched out or weird or anything. It's worth noting also, this may be one of the first times we've ever done the brakes like well before it was ready to test drive. If you're wondering why I'm suddenly all trimmed up and looking spiffy, that's because at this very moment while you're watching, I'm actually in Hawaii right now. So I had to get a bunch of premium new Ariat gear because, you know, gotta look nice on the beach. Everyone wears flannels on the beach, right?
And I've been wearing Ariat clothing all along over a year now. It's just super tough, and I'm gonna wear it to protect me while Will and I are working on this project, which is currently happening right now. I've got the Ariat boots. I've had these for a year, and they're the only boots that can withstand the rain of Will and I's terror, because we do not take care of our stuff. But I think what we're working on right now is gonna be pretty nice.
I'm just in Hawaii really worrying that Will and Edwin are in the shop unsupervised, and I'm just hoping they don't burn the shop down.
I'm also a little bit concerned about that. This will be the first time you guys are unsupervised. I got all this fresh new Ariat gear because I'm about to go on some dates with some ladies.
That's nice.
Oh.
So you're single.
I'm single.
Right now, Ariat's doing buy one, get one 50% off for their Cotton Strong and Workman's lines. So definitely check that out. And you can see our Ariat favorites in the link below. Plus get 10% off your first order at Ariat. So check out those links in the description. We're gonna go back to the past to see Ethan build this here truck.
Let's go!
The sprayer, make sure to get a slow-mo of that.
Yes.
All the poor things that don't have a space in the shop. Kind of have a feeling this isn't going to be particularly useful either in the space we have, but
Yeah, it looks like a weird shape to try to fit in there.
you never know. It's got to be like
Yeah, it sounds pretty full.
10 gallons. Oh, what a beautiful day. Feels like a great place to warm this up. Oh. Right on top of the fire. That's good. As Edwin would say, I just won't spill. Big old holy crap. Talk about weight reduction. What a joke. That outlet is tiny for an 800cc twin. Come on. We can do better than that. I'm sure somebody. Oh, if that works, I'm gonna be stoked. Running into the spring there on the shock. That actually kind of fits rather well. We call this the wall of destruction. Some of the things off of here aren't destroyed, they were just failures. Like this was an exhaust I built for the Barbie Jeep. It was stupid and terrible and made it lack performance. It was too long and too restrictive. But the muffler is a pretty solid muffler. And I'm willing to bet that it's gonna do a better job of letting air through on this. Might make it sound a little better and have a little more horsepower. What do you think of my premium exhaust hanger here, Steven?
Oh, that's premium.
Maybe we should just name this truck Premium.
Yeah, that's the plates we'll buy for it.
Premium. Oh, that'd be amazing. Those have to be taken.
One more extra character, isn't it? Oh, it's 7, right?
Yeah, this is. Wait.
Oh, it is
this
7.
7. Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if it's taken.
Chromium. It says Chromium.
Oh no, it's not premium at all. Was the steel too thick or something?
No, I just didn't really try that hard on the spacing of the letter. Like, I just didn't mess with it. I just, like, threw the font in there and called it good. It's gonna be a not premium exhaust hanger.
Not premium. That's the most unfortunate way to be.
I like your eye protection, Edwin.
Yeah, it's very premium.
Yeah, those are, like, super duper safety glasses. You'll never get anything in there.
I wasn't necessarily filming it. Oh, dude. That was not a good one.
Did you crash?
Oh, yeah, I crashed heavy. Oh, I dove. I went way high, came down by these trees, and I gave it full throttle, but I was just coming down too hot. Well, we'll let it dry off and see if it still works.
Well, they do call you Drone Killer Edwin.
Yeah, I have a notoriety around these parts. Oh! I should not be flying today. I'm not in a good mental state.
We've got a massively overkill fuel pump here and a little fuel filter, all mounted into one little convenient location with some brackets. So I'm thinking I'm gonna mount it kind of somewhere in this kind of vicinity, because that's, you know, in between the tank and the engine. There's a couple of holes here in the frame already, and these mounting rails are adjustable.
Oh,
So loosen them up, and those will align those holes there.
No, don't say it.
Will,
No,
Will,
no, no.
Will. That's 10 push-ups, my friend.
I'll do pull-ups next time. We'll alternate. If that ever happens again, which I'm sure it won't.
If it happens, it's happened twice today already. Will? What? Where's your phone?
Oh my gosh.
That's the 3rd time today.
I just have like a phone thing going on today, you know?
Well, I hooked it up. It works. I got the pressure set to around 58 PSI, which is what I found as a number on the internet. We'll see if it works when we go to test start it, but you can see here. Come on. I wanted to do it. There we go. And you can hear the return rushing back into the tank.
It does a nice job.
Yep. Yeah, that came out really nice. And that was way easier than adapting the Polaris fuel pump to that fuel tank or building a new fuel tank. So I'd call that a win. Now, this is the filler neck. Swayed it to be in a different location. I got that bracket all attached there. Worked out really nice. The bolts are mega overkill, but that's the size the holes were, so it's the size of bolts we put on there. All those hexagons will be cut out for weight reduction and hexagonness. There's some confusing things going on here that I don't understand, and I've never had that happen before. I don't know what that's about. That's all gonna go right here across these 2 spots here, and where the line of hexagons ends, it's gonna fold over at 90 degrees so that it can be rigid in the up and down direction. We've got bolt holes for the gas tank mounts. These little tabs sticking out the back are just for a little extra spot to weld onto here. And I just have to figure out what the heck is going on with this stuff. We have a functioning fuel system. We have a new exhaust pipe. We have a new gas tank fully mounted. I think it's time to see if we can start it up and test all of those things. The fuel system is functioning, but there's a chance that it's at the wrong pressure and the injectors won't like it. I have not hooked up the wiring since I disassembled it, so hopefully I can get that all hooked up. And we have an exciting stack of electron weight reduction. Look at this. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery, and it has 700 cranking amps. And it's replacing this Chungus, which only has 575 cold cranking amps. To be fair, I think that in the cold, this would have a lot less than 700, but the point is, it's a much, much lighter battery that's also more powerful and smaller, so that's a win. And they're, in theory, much more durable as well. They can, or in the sense that they can handle a lot more charge cycles. Fuel pump wiring works. That's good. This, in theory, should be the brake switch. So I've just made myself a little bridge wire to tell it that the brakes are on, because it has a circuit that makes it so you cannot start it without pushing the brake pedal in the form of a wire. Let's see if it cranks. It do crank. That's good. Do it run? That's the real question. I mean, not yet, but let's see. Ooh, I could just pull on this because I broke it like an idiot. So I can just pull on that to down the throttle. Perfect. I guess that wire was the one. Let's see what happens if I try it again without that. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know what that wire is, but it's very necessary. So let's see here. Success!
Dude, it sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not very loud. That muffler does quite a good job of muffling.
Yeah, I did see it spit a tiny bit of a flame too. I don't know if it showed up on camera, but...
Nice. It definitely sounds better than it did before. And I believe I said earlier, want to make a whole new custom exhaust at some point that's a little more free-flowing and, you know, better for performance and all of that nonsense. But for now, this muffler sounds better than the old one, and it does the job of making space for the gas tank to fit there. So I'd call that a win.
I thought that was going to take a lot longer.
Technically, it could be driven right now. I won't. I will refrain because none of this is hooked up. We just have wires and cables and stuff dangling everywhere. So it would be very not intelligent to test drive it right now.